Hey guys, and welcome to the Season 2 of Invisible Woman Guide. In Marvel Rivals I had Celestial in Season 1.5, and most recently I did an unranked to GM using only Invisible Woman with a 73% win rate in solo queue. She's my most played hero by far, and I wanted to share some knowledge I've picked up along the way. There are plenty of guides out there, but most of them feel pretty basic. Just reading off the Marvel's wiki isn't going to help you actually play her better. This guide goes deeper: how and when to use her abilities, how to position properly, her strength and weaknesses in different comps, matchups, ultimate usage, and a bunch of practical tips I've learned through experience. Who is this guide for? This guide is not for complete beginners. It's for players who want to learn how to carry games as Invisible Woman, not just sit in the backline farming 50k healing and still end up losing. Sounds familiar, right? If you're constantly healing teammates who can't secure picks, no amount of healing will fix that. Invisible Woman has a large and versatile kit, and when used properly she can absolutely carry games solo. If I had to pick just one support to climb with, it would be her. She's that flexible. Quick ability overview. Primary Fire is a short-range projectile that heals allies and damages enemies it passes through. On its own it's not particularly strong, but it shines when both teams are grouped up, letting you hit multiple targets for solid AoE damage, heal your team at the same time, and charge your ultimate incredibly fast. Shield. Places a 250 HP shield in front of an ally which provides cover and heals them. I still can't believe how many people don't realize it heals, even in Celestial. You can press F to retrieve the shield early so it doesn't get broken. Vortex. Tap once to throw it, tap again to stab it. Slows enemies, deals damage, and pulls flying heroes down. Force Physics, also known as push or pull. Most people default to push, but you'll usually get way more value using pull instead. Double Jump, your get out of jail free card. It lets you double jump and activates your invisibility passive that heals you while you're invisible. Invisible Woman's ultimate. You create AoE zone that heals your teammates, making them invisible from outside and slows enemies who walk into it. Now, the most important part, the general game loop. One thing most of the guides skip is the actual game loop, and honestly that's the most important part when learning a new hero. You can memorize all the combos, all abilities, sure, but if you don't understand the pacing and the flow of how hero is supposed to be played in the fight, it all falls apart. You jump into a match, throw all your cooldowns, things don't go like they did in the guide, and boom, you're back in spawn, wondering what just happened. You have two core playstyles. Backline cleave support, ideal scenario. This is a dream setup. You're sitting behind your team, holding M1, both teams are in front of you, and your shots are healing allies while damaging enemies at the same time. You don't even need to overthink it. Just spam M1, heal your team, apply constant pressure on the enemies, and win the fights through pure value. It's simple and extremely effective. Hybrid frontline disruptor, most common scenario. You're not in the very back and you're definitely not in the front of your tanks. You're sitting right behind them. This is where you start playing more like DPS support hybrid. The main tool here is your pull, and it's often enough to secure a kill by itself. When you pull someone into your team, you're exposing them, and your team can usually focus them down pretty quickly or bait a lot of resources to save them. Playing like this, you're not just reacting, you're proactively creating picks and swinging fights, and this is more carry type of playstyle that I honestly prefer and feel that my decisions matter. Rule number 1. Throw your Vortex. Use it at the start of the fight or at the enemy spawn doors when they're about to come out. Or simply at the choke, there's almost never a reason to hold it, just throw it and get some ult charge. Best combo, Vortex plus push or pull. One of Invisible Woman's strongest plays is combining Vortex with either push or pull, depending on whether enemies are engaging or backing off. The combo I use the most is Vortex plus pull. Here's why it works so well. I throw my Vortex at the group of enemies, then I pull them into my team, and when they naturally try to run back to safety, they walk straight into the Vortex. It's incredibly effective because players always try to get back to their teams when displaced, and this combo punishes that, often getting you way more kills than you'd expect. In Marvel Rivals, you'll usually find yourself in one of two compositions, Brawl or Dive. Let's talk about Brawl comp. This is the more grounded and clustered teamfight scenario. Your primary role here is to stay behind your team using your primary fire to keep your team alive while positioning safely. Early on, I recommend starting really safe and just playing all the way in the backline. As the match progresses, you can start testing how far you can push without getting punished. Key values you should be looking for are pulling isolated targets, especially on high ground and out of position tanks, to secure a quick pick. Using your shield to either save your low HP tank who overpushed and providing cover and sustain to teammates at off angles, especially your flyers. You heal a lot and provide a lot of constant pressure, so usually you shouldn't get baited into overcommitting to scattered allies. Your shield will usually be enough to help them. You also get great zoning potential with your vortex. Toss it at the enemies holding off angles or flyers out of the pull range to force them to reposition. Let's talk about dive comps now, whether it's your team running it or enemies. Rule number 1. Swap. I'm serious, Invisible Woman can be played with or into dive, but you're leaving so much value on the table. You'll have to adapt constantly, pay attention to too many variables, and it's just not worth it. If your team is running dive, go Luna. Heal your divers from a distance or with Snowflake, and you're gonna provide so much more value than Invisible Woman will. If the enemies are playing dive, sure you can survive as Invisible Woman, but while you're invisible trying to heal yourself, your team's getting wiped. You're basically useless or need too much build from your team, not allowing them to play the game. Swap to Rocket or Cloak and Dagger. With Rocket you can survive infinitely better just by using your shift and running on the walls, and Cloak and Dagger has just a lot of sustain and escape ability. This guide isn't about forcing Invisible Woman into every comp, it's about helping you climb. Other useful tips. Healing flyers. You can't reliably heal flying allies, so use your shield to mitigate poke damage. If your flyers are dueling, leave the shield up to provide sustain over time for characters like Storm, Human Torch or Iron Man. Early game scouting. At the start of the match, use invisibility to scout enemy team comps. Ping or call out in voice what enemy is running. Preparing your team with this info can give you some early advantage. Since it's nearly impossible to cover every single detail about the hero, I've put together some frequently asked questions to help you learn Invisible Woman, covering some of the most common questions that might come up along the way. Why pick Invisible Woman over other supports? She offers reliable AoE healing, solid poke damage and high utility. Her Vortex is great for zoning or grounding flyers, and Pull is one of the strongest tools in the game for forcing kills or baiting cooldowns. She's simply the best in Brawl comps, where teammates stay grouped, but struggles against heavy dive or heavy flyers comps. What's my role in a teamfight? Your main job is to keep tanks and other support alive. You should heal your DPS too, but they're lower priority unless they're getting hard focused. You should also peel and control the tempo. You don't care with healing numbers alone, but by shutting down aggression and enabling your team to win fights. Who should I use Vortex and Pull on? Vortex is good to use on flyers or grouped up enemies. Pull is strong on any target lacking movement or trying to disengage. Even in neutral, a single good pull can secure a kill. When should I use my ultimate? Use it reactively to counter enemy tempo, when they use ultimates or are about to win a fight. You can also use your ultimate proactively if your team is dominating to lock in the advantage. Just don't hold your ult for too long. How do I appeal for allies like second support or a retreating tank who's low HP? Immediate shield placement gives them room to survive, especially versus high burst characters like Psylocke. This saves lives more often than you'd expect. How do I carry games as Invisible Woman? It's not just about healing. Pulling enemies in neutral can create a massive advantage. Don't sit on your tools waiting for the perfect play. Use them to dictate the fight's pace. What do I do when I'm isolated or being chased? Push the chaser away, then double jump into invisibility and get back to your team. Where should I position myself? How do I stay alive? Your ideal positioning is either behind the whole team for maximum AoE value or with your DPS behind the tanks, helping them with duels. Survivability depends heavily on your second support, as you have no self-healing besides stealth, which disables your abilities. A really strong tip: replace your shield on a teammate who is in cover before the fight starts. This turns it into a healing station you can rotate to when you need safety and heals. What about communication and calling targets? Your pool can display priority targets, so if you catch somebody out of position, call it in voice chat or ping them 2 or 3 times. Don't be shy. The louder and more frantic the call, the more likely your team is to collapse on them. Your utility is only valuable if your team capitalizes on it. Another general tip on how to get the max value: your uptime. You always need to be doing something. The more time you're active in a fight, the higher are chances of you winning it. Because the time you spend to reposition or time you spend to do other things is the time you're out of the fight and not providing any value. This guide took way more time and effort than I expected, and even then I couldn't cover everything I wanted, like detailed matchups and bunch of smaller tips that, when added up, can make a huge difference in your gameplay. If you've got any questions or want to see breakdowns and tips against specific heroes, drop a comment below. I'll be more than happy to make a follow-up video on that. If this guide helped you or you learned something new, consider giving it a like and subscribing to support the channel. It means a lot and helps me keep putting this kind of content together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.